exchange rate. Hi, my name is Maxwell Rusmisell. Today I'm presenting my international expansion proposal for my company Diamond Assets, a Milton, Wisconsin-based company specializing in secondhand technology repair, specifically Apple products. We provide these secondhand products to markets around the world in developing countries for consumers with lower incomes to give them access to affordable technology. I chose Birmingham, United Kingdom, as my location for my company, specifically because it's central to the southern area of Britain in England, where population is centered. I didn't choose London because cost of land and warehouse space is going to be significantly more expensive due to the higher population. And Birmingham is the second biggest city with around 700,000 people, giving us plenty of technological capital, as well as easy access to other cities to get to those customers if our business expands throughout the country. Also, Birmingham is close to Liverpool, which is a port city, which is very important as we export the majority of our refurbished technology to resellers around the globe. And the market status in the United Kingdom it's an emerging market for this used technology. There's only one other company that does this. And in the West, as well as the UK, society is realizing the effects of consumerism and e-waste. And that's going to give our company an edge as we appeal to the environmentally conscious mindset that people are taking on these days. We're also have the opportunity to make a difference by helping businesses and the environment. We're giving them, return on that depreciating asset, and simplify the selling process for businesses and supply process for resellers by covering all the exporting and insurance costs when shipping overseas, as well as guaranteeing a quality refurbished product. So for our initial investment and the infrastructure required to get our business started, we're going to require a warehouse and office space for the refurbishment of technology, as well as for our customer relations department to market and acquire new customers in the UK, resellers overseas, and help international marketing agencies gain those customers in developing markets for those local resellers, as well as employee and recruiting and office supplies, vans for device transport from UK customers to our refurbishment facility to the port in Liverpool, as well as refurbishment capital. This includes tools, parts like batteries, screens, things like that, so we can ensure our technology is revitalized and will last longer. So the required funds for this, we're going to need a $1 million land mortgage. This is a good investment for us, as land is scarce in the UK with its large population and relatively small size. It's a good asset to have in case the business do not succeed in the market. And we also going to need a $2 million business loan to get our business started, to build our warehouse, get all of the capital needed for that, as well as a $5.1 million investment from Diamond Assets US to be paid back within the year for operational costs and technology acquisition. And we will only need such a small amount compared to the actual cost of the technology to buy it, as we'll keep reinvesting from sales overseas, allowing us to buy more and more capital and increase our profits. We have a high probability for success as we're replicating our business model that has been very successful in the United States, which is a very similar market. We are also taking advantage of the large global demand for secondhand products, and we're also creating additional competitive advantages to create an industry standard that any other competitors would have to try to rise up to edge us out of the market if they were to try to enter the market. And like I said, there's only one other competitor in this market, so it's going to be pretty easy to become the leader. So the most difficult part of entering this new market, however, is the establishment of consistent flow of customers, because a consistent flow of customers creates a consistent stream of revenue. And this is especially true for our business, as organizations only tend to upgrade their technology every 7 to 8 years. And that's at the beginning of this process. Until our company gets established for a number of years, we're going to have to continually obtain new customers to obtain that consistent revenue. So in order to build our brand, we're going to utilize marketing through our customers relations team to use trade shows, internet, business journals, things of that sort. And this will build us relationships and have deals set up to begin the refurbishment export process as soon as possible. So that way, while we are opening and working on our warehouse and our total supply chain systems, we're already going to have deals in the UK set up, so that way we can begin refurbishment process as soon as we are ready. And our business model, we buy devices from organizations selling their used Apple products. This includes things like schools, nonprofits, small businesses, and then we refurbish these devices to increase their value for sale again and extend the lifespan of these devices. And then they're then sold to overseas resellers who specialize in selling to local consumers. So essentially we act as the middleman for tech capital, providing businesses with asset liquidity, as well as resellers with quality products to sell. And so we create our competitive advantage through simplifying the transportation process for our customers. Like I said, we cover those export and insurance costs. That way businesses don't have to take on extra risk by buying with us. We also can cultivate a strong supply chain with strong relationships in order to create lifetime customers and associates that we work with, continuing selling to those same resellers and buying from the same businesses every 7 to 8 years. That way we create a sustainable business model rather than having to keep trying to find new customers always. And we're also ensuring we add value to the lifespan of tech, benefiting the consumer and the environment. So we have our upfront costs here. We have the cost of incorporation, warehouse, things like that. They'll go into our initial costs, as well as our yearly operational costs like distribution, exporting the devices overseas, general things like that. We also have our reseller cost acquisition. So this is how we're going to work with our international marketing agencies to build those relationships with our associates who are these resellers. And then we also have our capital acquisition and customer acquisition costs. So this includes buying used devices as well as marketing to those businesses so we can then pay them for their devices. So it increases every month, little by little, as our production gets more streamlined and more efficient. So you can see we have our money flowing in to these businesses and organizations, and they then give us their used Apple products. We refurbish them, sell them to international resellers who buy for sale in their regional market, including places like India, Nigeria, Bangladesh. And these, so we have our average revenues per sale to these resellers for opening period during our market entry last 6 months, our first 6 months, last 6 months, and it keeps increasing the number of resellers that we sell to, as well as the amount of money we are making per sale. And so we're selling around 36,000, 47,000, and then 70,000, increasing our revenue every time. So our total year-end revenue will be around 76.25 million is our goal. And this illustrates our entire supply chain and where our capital and money is going into. So I can visualize this process through the journey of a single MacBook. So for example, say a school is using Mac computers and they're getting slow, they're getting old, they're looking to upgrade. We then take those computers from them, take them to our warehouse, refurbish them, add new batteries, new parts, clean the dust out of them, then ship them overseas to international resellers, and then sell them to the end consumer, providing them with those opportunities that the internet gives of information, education, etc. So going into our revenue, risk, and profit, the greatest advantage our business model has is that our greatest cost is variable. With our initial cost only totaling 3.4 million, the purchase of used tech, we're able to manage this based on market conditions. If there's low supply, we don't have to worry about making more sales because we can just decrease hours for employees, things like that. Or if there's low demand, we can buy less devices to refurbish. So basically this is our main risk that we can choose to take or not. And to break even, we only need to resell 17,000 devices, whereas our first year goal is 152,000 devices. So to put this to scale, that means 582 devices per day in a 5-week work week with around 39 per day per employee. And so the average device margin, we'll try to buy it for around $300, resell it for about $500, making us a margin of $200. And so our goal for that first year is 76.25 million in revenue, like I said, as well as 49.1 million in costs, leaving 25 million in profit. And like I said, 3.4 million is fixed. The rest of that is variable. So our costs will, as our revenue increase, our costs also increase, but vice versa, making our business less likely to leave the market if market conditions are bad. So marketing and promotions, how will we make these sales? How will we build these relationships, cultivate this strong supply chain? We're using a multitude of different avenues and media types, including business, radio, internet ads, referrals, trade shows. At these trade shows, especially during our market entry, that's how we're going to build relationships with other businesses, get people excited about our brand, what we do for them. We're paying them for their use technology that they otherwise would just take a complete loss on. We're basically cutting down their costs as they invest into new technology, which almost any business would want to take advantage of this. So by creating that buzz around our name, we'll be able to get more and more customers. So our customer relations department will also deal with payment and client communications, life cycle planning every 7 to 8 years. We can advise them on when to upgrade their technology, future transactions, as well as create lifetime customers that repeat that same cycle every 7 to 8 years for their upgrades. They'll also make the sales with international resellers in the local markets, so that way they can then distribute to their end consumers in developing countries. And so our international marketing agencies, which are a third party, and they will take care of that regional advertising, acquiring resellers, getting customers for those resellers, and we're going to try to build that diamond certified refurbished seal. So that way when these end consumers get the product, they're going to say, oh, this company doesn't just resell something used, they actually improve it. It's going to last a long time and be more efficient than something that's just old and slowed down. And that way consumers will choose our products from our resellers, giving us that competitive advantage in the market. So we have our primary marketing goals: obtaining UK customers, overseas resellers, and end consumers. However, we also emphasize our secondary marketing goals, which are to improve the environment through decreasing e-waste and increasing the lifespan of tech, providing affordable technology to low-income consumers in developing countries, giving them access to information and opportunities they otherwise wouldn't have if they had to try to buy technology new. We're also reducing these costs for schools, businesses, and other organizations in the UK who are upgrading to their new technology, decreasing their costs, and helping businesses thrive. So these are examples of a business journal or a magazine ad and an internet advertisement. And so in conclusion, we're asking for that $1 million land mortgage, $2 million business loan, and $5.1 million investment from Diamond Assets US. And we hope that our company leadership considers our proposal to expand to the UK to provide a valuable service to these businesses and organizations, as well as do a service to the environment and the world as a whole. Thank you.